I start like Eric did with H&M. How many of you have heard about Woolpower before? Everyone. Yeah, that's good. Want to impress the front row who can't see you behind. And how many of you know that everything that we produce, all the socks, undergarments, are knitted and sewn in Sweden, Östersund? Oh, quite many. That's great. Maybe there are some of you who own a pair of Woolpower socks or undergarment. Oh yeah, that's great. Just one more question to the rest of you. Why don't you? I think that's the question I ask, or we ask ourselves every day, because we want to get through with our message. I mean, it's not only Woolpower who wants to get through, it's all of us. That's part of the business. And excuse me? So I'm going to spend the next 20-25 minutes to talk about what we have done, how have we been able to communicate the sustainability part of our message. The first picture, maybe you've seen the sun. And I remember this feeling that we had when we started this. How can we communicate sustainability? Because you have the sun, and then we started like, where are we going? And we were lost. We were actually lost in space, more or less. But we knew that here in Sweden, in Östersund, we had a strong case because we did something unique. We had a long part of the process, and we did everything ourselves. We knitted it, we cut it, and we sew it. And we are transparent. We want to be transparent, but no one saw us. So that's the problem. We had this window open, and we were running around naked, and no one ever saw us. So that is the problem. So we started with like, how does it look now? And I think this are what we were communicated. Like, we have the company, who we are, where do we come from, where are we going. We have the product, functionality, quality. And then we look at the forefront of this one, that, okay, we added some sustainability, or the company that we were looking at, and it seemed that we didn't, in my mind, I couldn't grasp it, because they were talking about code of conduct, and they had all these nice home pages, and it looked really good, and there's another one that is like, okay, we plant trees, or give 1% of the turnover, and that's great. But for me, that's not sustainability. Sustainability for me is in all processes, all departments, and all levels. So actually what it looked like when we, because as I said, we think we are good at it, and where does CSR come in? Then we would present something like this, and good luck with that, dear Mr. or Mrs. Marketing Manager, can you do something about this? And this is the big part of the problem, that it's everywhere. We have we want to explain, one of this is like how we try to use recycled material, and what do we do with when it's you can't wear the sock anymore, where does it go? We do a lot of thinking. And the next one is, maybe we don't we pay fixed salaries for everyone in the production, and there's so much that we want to explain, or maybe I should start that we work with wool garments, but maybe you could understand that from our logo. So it's very important for us to communicate the grassland, but also, I mean, I drink the free coffee, and that's ecological and fair trade coffee, and that's important as well. So we tried to communicate that, and didn't turn out well because no one read it. We were still running around naked. And because that pie didn't expand just because we wanted to add more, we couldn't go to the owners and say, give me more money. We need money to communicate this. I said no. So we have to be smarter, and we took out some. Everyone talk about heritage, so we took that out because, and I actually missed that part because I like the black and white photos when you see a guy in a suit and a hat beside the horse. I don't know what we were trying to say, but maybe we were old. So we cut a lot of crap out, and then we wanted really to. The problem that in our room where we were running around naked, okay, let's run around naked closer to you. So then we thought, okay, we are going to use symbols, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we have done and how the reaction have been. And the first one, be big. I didn't know it was there. that was our marketing manager, like, let's be big. And I was going back to the sun again, and I was like, no, our house, running around naked. And it didn't. But what she meant was like, okay, let's focus on these guys, the industrial divers. Big, huge market. Or these guys. This is actually me. Let's focus on me. This is our test facility back home. It's huge. H&M. So the ice skater, the outdoor ice skaters, let's be big for them. Then I like, oh yeah, let's be big. I like big. Or these guys. This is actually a good example. This is Uroskur kindergarten, where the method where the kids go to their kindergarten and they use nature as playground and classroom. They are out a big part of the time. And this is also something that this is the only science you will hear from me. If you want to know more about this, you can read it at the university. Because the early adopters, we want to be big. So then we thought, okay, let's speak to the industrial divers or the Uroskur kids. Because they are the early, and find the early adopters within that one. So we thought the Uroskur kids' parents were early adopters. Because if you convince the early adopters, the rest will follow. Because in the early, me as not an early adopter, I have my role models and idols and mentors, which I'm looking up at, and I just, Apple, I want, that's cool. I buy one. I don't know why, but I did. So actually it works. So we focused on those one. The problem is that it's not only we that are doing this. So you have a very short span where you can talk to them. It's like, whoop, and next. So what we did was, we did like this. Instead of saying that we are based in Östersund, which is close to the polar circle, and it's done by people that are used to the cold weather, we just said proudly made in Sweden. And we hope that you like, oh, made in Sweden, that must be good. Everything in Sweden is good. So I don't know how it worked. It turned out well, I would say. And especially in Sweden. And you can understand why it's local economy, and we are proud of Sweden are proud of Swedes, and so on. And then we are 75% is export. So we launched this in all other countries as well, and we went to Norway and didn't go through. And we why? And then they said if it's a wool garment, it must be made in Norway to be good. And it must have a name of a former ski athlete with 10 or 12 gold medals. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So then it was wrong. In Germany, for instance, it was good. Because in Germany, Germans like Scandinavia. So then it was good. And we looked around in the US. Maybe we can ask Jill about this later, the next speaker. What does it mean, proudly made in Sweden? Our reaction when we asked them was like, it's non-Asian, so it's good. So that you have to really sort of try to find to communicate to each country. Another thing that we did was this one, very similar to Kavita, that we make approximately 400,000 garments per year, and each garment is made by one seamstress, or a unique seamstress. It's not only one. We thought that, okay, then it's personalized. It's actually a person behind this one that must count for something, and that if you put a name tag into it, you would really think it's a good piece of garment. Otherwise, you wouldn't put your name into it. And also, I think by having this name Marta Persson, it's like, oh, then I can work there. That must be okay. So then we can have this, nice salary and stuff like that as well. Good, everyone understood that, even in Norway. But one thing that turned out really funny, strange, is that we are very proud of our diversity. We have, in the production, we have people from 8 different countries, and we have an Amel from Algeria, and we have an Inta from Estonia, and we have people from Thailand and Iran, and those are not Anna Andersson and Anna Svensson. So people were like seeing Asian names in our garments, thinking that, weren't you producing in Sweden? And we're like, yeah, but we employ others. So you always get sort of hit from the side, blindsided whatever you do. And another one is that here we do the other way around. We promote products to push the company. We reuse our production waste, and we actually take back the used garments, and then we produce slippers and insoles. And this is newly launched, so we can't really say how it is. But what we heard, one was like, "Oh, cool, slippers, I want them," and full stop. So they didn't see the rest of us, because we were promoting this. It's, I mean, buy the slippers, they are good value. We earn no money on them, because we just want to push the recycled thing, and because if it's recycled, maybe some of you think, oh, you have your own production because you can recycle it. That's what we're hoping for. So this is something that will be sort of launched this year, and we will see where we're going to be blindsided from. I don't know. And I think that the very good speech of Coop Italia, I think, look at other industries. What can we do? I saw this, now I translated it, going into the grocery store, and then it's like bananas, and it said, it's up to you now. Like, you don't go to the bad bananas, like a porn magazine and some bad bananas, like. So look at other industries. I think it's very good to do that. Yeah, and you will get rid of me soon. I can just say enjoy the ride. I mean, we have started the journey, and we are not at the airport yet. I think we have to learn from each other and help each other, because we are not know where we're going. And in somewhat, I'm circular around the sun still. And I like it. So thank you very much.